So today I am going to change directions a little bit from the types of videos that I usually make and make a practical guide of how I use Zoom when I'm tutoring online to help to optimize um, the tutoring or learning process when you're using Zoom for education. So one thing that you probably already have noticed is that when you go to share screen, that if you click on the whiteboard, that this whiteboard gives you an opportunity to write things on the screen that the other person who is doing the Zoom can also see, so that can be convenient. But also, I find that a lot of times I want to be able to look at a particular like PDF or something that my student either sends to me or is screen sharing on their side. So to do that, instead of doing a whiteboard, if you go to share screen, you can share your desktop. I prefer generally not to share my desktop just for privacy purposes. Things can pop up, notifications, different things. So I prefer just to have a single tab like on Google Chrome or Firefox or something like that. And so here's an example of a PDF that I might share with one of my students. This one is from Tutor Software, which props to Tutor Software. I use your worksheets quite often. They're very, very well done. So one option, once you have shared a PDF such as this one, you can go up to your toolbar and you can click Annotate. And once you've clicked Annotate, now you can write on the screen on top of whatever you're working on. So for example, if you're wanting to do this order of operations problem, you can add what's inside the parentheses first. 6 plus 7 is 13. So you can make 3 times 13. And by the way, I'm writing with a digital pen because I find that when I tutor for multiple hours a day online, that a mouse just gets to be, it hurts my hand. And so I bought a fairly inexpensive digital pen that's what I use when I tutor. So yeah, we can just continue with this problem. You multiply and it makes 39. Now, if you have a problem that, if you have a PDF where things are so close together that you don't have room, one thing that I like to do is I'll go to Format, I'll turn my color white, change my drawing into a rectangle, and then I'll give myself space on top of a PDF so that I can write as much as I want. I can draw pictures, I can do all sorts of things. I can also use like circles, and you can do all sorts of things on top of that. However, keep in mind one drawback of just making this white space this way is when you use an eraser, you're going to erase your white background. So what I like to do, instead of using the eraser, I generally just use the undo button to undo what I've done previously and try to stay away from using the eraser when you've made this backdrop. So those are some of the primary things that I use when I'm tutoring. If there's anything that, if you are a tutor or a teacher, you use Zoom, and you find certain tools in Zoom to be helpful for you, please leave those in the comments. I would love to learn more about tutoring on Zoom, especially as I've gone completely onto tutoring solely online ever since the pandemic. A lot of my students really enjoy it because you get to see really easily what each other are doing, and not have to look over the shoulder, that kind of thing. And also it allows you to tutor anybody all over the world. So that's also a big plus to tutoring on Zoom. All right, well, thanks for watching. Take care.